Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, CeeChronicles here. Welcome to the channel. I post fragrance related content on this platform and I would very much appreciate you subscribing and joining the family. Also remember to hit the like and share button. Those two buttons help, guys, with making sure that YouTube puts out this video to more people. Now, to those who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. 4, 6, 7. I have 7 Zimayas in my collection and I thought to just dedicate this video to anybody who may be eyeing these Zimaya fragrances and wondering where to start. Okay. The house of Zimaya is not really too out there, but I have noticed that most of their fragrances don't disappoint. This is why I'm actually dedicating a video and just grouping all the Zimayas that I have and telling you my thoughts with the hope that it will help you in your purchases. And no, this is not sponsored. I'm not being sponsored by the house of Zimaya. So we're going to start with the Haawa Pink. Haawa Pink, guys, is a rose-centered scent with that double dose of rose and peony. So this is going to be a beautifully done floral. It has a sweetness to it there, and it has an aquatic pear. So the pear is going to interpret to the senses as though it's adding a watery bed to that rose, kind of diluting it but still keeping the rose, if that makes any sense. Okay, so this is going to give you a little bit of fresh. Oh yeah, and if I didn't mention, to top it off, that same pear is working with the lychee. So lychee, when lychee comes into the mix, then there's a lot of aquaticness happening there. So this is going to be rose, it's going to be peony, which is that very happy, girly floral that is very vibrant, but that floral is going to be carrying with it a fruity feel, and that fruity feel is going to feel as though it's adding a watery accord to the whole thing. Sweet, beautiful, fun, summery scent, drawing inspiration from that Delina Le Rosé. So if you're looking for that fragrance, you know, at an affordable price, or you just want to know what that fragrance vibes like, you may want to try this one. And this is why I said, guys, when it comes to the Zimayas, I wish they could do more in terms of being out there, because their fragrances are really good. My scent bubble right now, nothing beats that. So this is Haawa Pink, and with Haawa Pink came Haawa Red. So these two are twinning, but they do not smell the same. However, if you like this, you're probably going to love this, because both of these fragrances have that fruit feel to them. Haawa Red, you know, is a berry forward scent with a very vibrant raspberry, strawberry and black currant. So this one makes it more about the fruits than it does the florals. In as much as it has that lily, it's not really much about the lily. It's about that raspberry, strawberry. There is an orange in here. There's also going to be a green leafy cassis, not too green, but you're going to get a slight greenness of that leafy cassis, and then it has the patchouli to tie things up, and of course the vanilla to make it sweet. This is also feminine toned, and as I said, if you like this, you're probably going to love this, although they're not the same. This heightens the florals, though it has the fruits, and this heightens the fruits the most. This one draws inspiration, guys, from that Rouge Trafalgar. From both fragrances, I'm able to get about 4 to 5 hours of performance in these two fragrances, and depending on how much you spray, let's say you spray 20 sprays and stuff, you could possibly stretch that 5 hours to 6, even 7 hours. So absolutely love this. And then the next two I want to clue you up on are these, drawing inspiration from the Kilians, just based on the bottles. You can see that these bottles are a little bit big though. I mean, if you have the Kilian bottles, you'll know that they're not the same size. These are big, but you can just tell by this side and just how they look that they're probably drawing inspiration of the Kilians, and yes, they are. So I have a La Rosée, which is this one, as well as a Fairytale. Of the two, I absolutely love this one. This one draws inspiration of that Straight to Heaven by Kilian, a fragrance that incorporates the use of rum, patchouli, woods, spices. It's aromatic as well, a little bit of green. This is not going to be for everybody, I have to say. And in as much as it has dried fruits, which is something that a lot of people may like, the same dried fruits give it like a mature feel to it, like a, you know, a fragrance that's going to give you that nostalgic thingy where for some you may say, oh, it gives me old man's vibe or something. There is something in here that's quite mature. So I feel it's that cedar mixing with the nutmeg and the dried fruits. So kind of gives it something that just takes my senses to a very long time ago. I don't know. There's just something about this one, but it does draw inspiration from that Straight to Heaven. The lasting power could be better for this, okay? But then again, personally, I feel it's okay, because if this kind of DNA gets pushy, sometimes it can do a little bit too much. Also going to appeal to somebody who loves boozy scents, because it does have that rum component in it, okay? And this, if you're tiptoeing to fragrances as a woman, is going to maybe give you masculine vibes. But if you're used to a lot of fragrances, or you have quite a collection, or you're open-minded and stuff, this is just going to give you unisex, you know. But I'm just saying, for a first timer or somebody who's just leaving the designer, you know, style of fragrances, they might find this one a little bit odd, and that oddness, you know, to a woman may give you an impression that it's masculine toned, but I don't get that. I get a nice aromatic, spicy, woody scent with that use of the patchouli. The patchouli here is a little bit green, a little bit dusty, but it's okay, because that's exactly what it's supposed to be. I mean, that's what Straight to Heaven does, but the performance could be better. That's what I can say. This one also gives me 4 vibes, okay? Quite mature, this is. It's called A Fairytale, all right? A Fairytale from the House of Zimaya. And then we have La Rosée. This one draws inspiration of that Killian Good Girl Gone Bad. These two are not safe. Both are not safe, but I find this one, the one that I would caution you on. This, you may certainly want a tester first, in as much as it comprises of those white florals, that osmanthus, tuberose, jasmine. The white florals here meet with a nectarine, and the nectarine feels as though it's unripened. If you have nectarines at home, or peaches, and you cut into one that is green, you know, that is quite sour, that is what I get from the scent profile. It does have the sandalwood, but the sandalwood is not communicating as creamy. It blends with the sourness of what this fragrance is doing. The cedar also adds, you know, to that woody, sour tone. So this becomes the fragrance that is going to be liked by somebody who likes soapy scents, right? It's also going to be mature. The floralness is there, but it's not too out there, because it's coming across as though it's sitting on a green bed, although as though like maybe you smelt, you know, the root of the actual flower itself, because of that green nectarine. The rose is there as well, but it's also lemony. So this, though drawing inspiration of that Good Girl Gone Bad, that DNA in itself is not a common DNA. It's a DNA that's not really trying to be liked. So you may want to test this clone or the real thing before you purchase. However, this clone does justice to that DNA, does vibe like that. If you love Good Girl Gone Bad, you're going to agree with me in the sense that Zimaya did nail this DNA, but it's a pretty awkward one. Stays close to the skin. That sour accord that it has kind of muffles its projection power. It doesn't then project, to me at least, because that sourness then makes it a little bit shy there. Then we have these 2 guys. I'm about done here. I'll be left with just one. We have these 2, tiramisu, caramel, as well as cocoa. I'm not going to draw much into this, because we do have a video that I posted maybe 3-4 days ago, just focusing on these 2, right? Tiramisu caramel is going to have, of course, that caramel note, a sugar note, cocoa, if I'm not mistaken, and a milk note. This one draws inspiration of that Bianco Latte, a good one. It is also the reason why in my other video where I was talking about my favorite Litafas, I said I was not going to purchase Eclair again, in as much as I appreciate that DNA drawing inspiration of that Bianco Latte, because I feel the Eclair DNA, this DNA, the Nyla Vanille by Arabiette DNA nail that Bianco Latte DNA to an extent that I don't really need to repurchase either. I'm actually going to just wear all the bottles and enjoy them, okay? So this is a good rendition of that Bianco Latte for anybody who loves milky, creamy, fudgy, syrupy, sweet gourmand fragrances. You're absolutely gonna love this one. And the bottle, I absolutely love. I love the fact that it's magnetic gorgeous one. This one may need reapplying. I do get 4 or 5 hours out of this, but it's also another DNA that's kind of like, you know, skin scenty because of how gourmand it is. These type of DNAs I did mention in another video that can be a little bit tricky there to get them to project the most because they are foodie. The milky aspect of them or the creamy aspect of them sometimes makes them not project as much. We have Tiramisu Cocoa inspired by Mancera Amore Latte. This one is going to take a coffee direction. It's also going to be sweet vanillin, fudgy, toffee like with that coffee note. Also going to be gourmand, but again, I don't get a lot of projection, you know, from this one. These two are definitely going to be a gourmand lover's, you know, fave. If you love gourmands, then you can settle for this. I said to you when I came in a previous video that I would have bought this nonetheless just for the packaging because I do love the packaging. So this one is another good one, but the two guys tend to be a little bit shy there, and that's exactly what they're supposed to be doing anyway, if you ask me. So yes, certainly this is another good one from the house of Zimaya, and I thought to just drop it here for anybody who may be looking at these bottles and wondering what they're doing. I'm going to pin the full review of this, you know, in the description in case you want more detail. Last Zimaya I have is Zukhruf Pink. With Zukhruf Pink, they have a red one. I didn't buy that one because that one draws inspiration of Lost Cherry. They also have a blue one. I think that one maybe draws inspiration of the Dior Sauvage. I didn't want to go that direction. I bought this one in as much as this one vibes similar to one that I already have, which is that Yara. But Yara in itself, by the House of Lattafa, is a fragrance that is now interpreting as a little bit boozy. Maybe it's because I have had it in my collection for about 3 years, and I had read some comments about this saying how much this one then, you know, takes a fluffy direction in as much as it has that Yara vibe. And yes, I agree. If you love Yara, you're probably going to love this. It kind of feels like a lighter take to Yara, heightening the marshmallow note as well as the musk note. So this becomes a fluffy pink girly fragrance with enough serving of the vanilla that doesn't make it too sweet. Not that Yara in itself is too sweet, but this one kind of keeps it in check, as though they were trying to create a milkshake, if you know what I mean. It kind of interprets as fluffy to the senses, as though you opened a packet of, you know, marshmallow, and, you know, the fluffiness is coming off that marshmallow, and of course that almond milk note, the nuttiness in here, everything presenting as careful and girly and beautifully done there. So if you are one of those people that maybe like Yara that much and you would like another twist to it, then you can certainly purchase this one. This one also has a good lasting power. I get about 6 hours off this on a decent number of sprays, which is about 10-12 sprays. I get 6 hours, so it's a good one for me. It also has a sandalwood that adds to anchor that almond milk, you know, as well as the marshmallow. So absolutely love it. Now, to cut to the chase, maybe you're wondering which ones are my favorites. I absolutely love Haawa Pink. Beautiful womanly scent. I absolutely recommend this one. If you are into fruity scents, get this one. You will thank me later. If you're tired of the Yara DNA, do not purchase this because it's going to remind you of it. If you're into gourmands, then certainly purchase this, but I don't think you need both. So I would say go for this one instead of this, because this one has a coffee note, but it's not too heightened. So that's what I can say about these two. And then lastly, if you're looking for something outside the box, something that's not going to be your everyday scent, something different, then you can look at these two, okay? A Fairytale is going to be aromatic, woody, even masculine leaning. They're spicy, a little bit of oud. I think this one also has. So this is going to be an out of the box type of scent, but I also recommend it. And then my least favorite, unfortunately, is going to be this one, simply because I do not like the sour feel of it. I would certainly not purchase even the original because I just don't vibe with that good girl gone bad DNA. But yes, if you're looking for one, you got it here in Al Rosé. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications, guys. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners, guys. Cheers.